Previously on Spellslinger Devlog. What's coming next? Well, I might be doing a couple more big overhauls to the game, so hopefully I won't have to rewrite all the code this time. And if you want to see more devlogs of the game's progress, which I promise will not take another 5 months this time, well, this is awkward. Welcome back to the Spellslinger Devlog series. Although with how long it's been, I wouldn't be surprised if you have no idea what I'm talking about. So if you don't, welcome to the Spellslinger Devlog series, where I will be showing my progress making Spellslinger, a game inspired by the old game now removed from the internet, Bookworm Adventures. In the last devlog, I made just a couple changes to the game. I added a lot more features and made a lot of improvements to make the game even better, which took a while because I had to change a lot of code to work with the new systems. Last time, I claimed that I had to rewrite a lot of the code, which was a little over-exaggerated. I didn't rewrite the code, I just had to dramatically change the existing code. That being said, all that code was terrible. I started working on Spellslinger over 2 years ago at this point, beginning sometime in March of 2023, and my coding skills were not nearly as good as they are now. Which is why, over the past 8 months, I have been rewriting all of the code. And I don't mean just changing it dramatically, I mean I literally rewrote every single line of code in the game. Why? Because the game was basically built on duct tape. But now, it's built on industrial strength tape, which is a good thing because, well, you've read the title. I've done a bit more overhauling to the game. Now, I've made a ton of improvements to the game that make it flow smoother and look nicer, such as improving the tile and enemy animations, but I've also added one new feature to the game, and it's a big one. You can block now. Introducing Disruption. Previously, when an enemy attacked you, you just had to stand there and take it, but now with Disruption, you can block that attack. Holding down left click with the mouse will disrupt an enemy attack, making it deal 25% of its regular damage. However, this will use a Disruption charge, which you only have 3 of. But, at the start of your turn, if you are missing a Disruption charge, you will get a channel tile, which will grant you a Disruption charge on use. Disruption adds a whole new layer of strategy to the game. You will need to determine what attacks you should block and whether to go for a big attack with spells, or to try and use a channel tile to regain a Disruption charge. However, this also adds a skill check to the game, because with perfect timing, you can perform a perfect disruption, blocking all damage and not consuming a disruption charge. Although this isn't easy, some attacks are really hard to time, and it might be better to just try and disrupt regularly, rather than risk taking full damage if you miss the perfect disruption. Disruption is such a fun mechanic. I've had a lot of fun with Spellslinger over the past 2 years, but this is definitely one of my favorite additions. Despite the fact that I'm making an RPG, I'm not really an RPG guy. Mostly because I prefer games with skill involved where you have to learn the boss's attack patterns to be able to dodge it to survive, rather than the RPG approach of just grinding for more levels to beat a boss. But with Disruption, Spellslinger fully removed all of my problems with RPGs, because now you have a skill check with how big of a word you can spell, along with a strategy of what spells to use and when to use them, along with the skill check of learning enemy attacks to be able to block them. And now enemies have cooler attacks and can do some crazy things to keep you on your toes. I love the current state of Spellslinger. It's taken 2 years to get this way, but it was absolutely worth it. And in addition to Disruption, I've made some other small changes as well. For example, the incantation system got a small rework. Along with the new player UI, mana is no longer a notch system. Incantations now have their own specific mana cost rather than costing an entire notch. And incantations are now much better, because the old ones kind of sucked. Your starting incantation is now Arcane Enhanced, giving 2 random tiles plus 1 bonus tile value, a small damage buff for only 12 mana. And of course, I've been working on more content as well. I've made more areas, more enemies, more spells, more artifacts, more incantations, and so much more. However, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer to see what I have in store. But Spellslinger is finally in a state where I could say that I'm not planning on making any more massive overhauls to the game. I have a few more things to finish up, like a couple of menus, but then from there, most of what I need to do is just make even more areas, enemies, spells, artifacts, incantations, etc. If you're excited to play Spellslinger when it comes out, you can wishlist the game on Steam right now, and even play the demo, although it is currently still in the old duct tape version for now. And if you want to keep updated on the game, you can subscribe to this channel for more devlogs. I have some surprises coming soon, and I am very excited to share an entire new region of Spellslinger in the next devlog. But the next devlog is going to be a big one. A lot of what I've been doing recently is just making the game more polished, but next time, there will be a ton of content to show. But for now, that is all. I will see you in the next devlog. Bye.